Hey everyone, and welcome back to Empowered Journey. I'm Will, and I'm so excited you've chosen to spend this time with me today. Whether you're working, relaxing, or on the move, I really hope this episode will help you tap into your inner strength and motivate you to push through your limits. Lately, I've been facing some personal challenges that have really tested my limits. You know those moments when everything seems like it's piling up and it feels like the easiest thing to do is just give up? I've had days like that, for sure. There have been times when I thought about quitting because things weren't going the way I expected, or I felt like I was putting in all this effort with no immediate results. But here's the thing. It's in those moments when you feel like quitting the most that you're actually on the edge of breaking through. And that's what I want to talk about today. The power of persistence and how you can push through your own limits to achieve greatness. Now, I know that persistence is one of those words we often hear, but it's so much more than just trying harder. It's about digging deep, continuing to move forward, even when it feels impossible. It's about showing up day after day, step by step, when everything inside you is screaming to stop. Because, in my experience, that's when the real magic happens. The breakthroughs don't come when you give up. They come when you decide to keep going, even if it's just one small step at a time. If you're new here, let me take a moment to remind you about the purpose of this podcast. This is a space where we focus on motivating, inspiring, and helping you take real action toward your goals. Every week, we explore different topics designed to help you overcome obstacles, tap into your potential, and take your life to the next level. And the reason I'm so passionate about this is because I truly believe that no matter where you are on your journey, you have the power to keep moving forward. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been on my mind a lot lately. The power of persistence ***. I want to explore how persistence isn't just about doing more, but about pushing through the tough moments, breaking through those mental and emotional barriers, and continuing to move forward no matter what. So, let's get started. Together, let's embrace the power of persistence and see how you can use it to push past your limits. Today, we're diving into something that can truly change the way you approach challenges: the power of persistence. Now, I know it's easy to feel like giving up when things get tough. We've all been there, doubting ourselves, wondering if the effort is even worth it. Maybe you've felt the weight of failure or fear creeping in, and it's hard to imagine pushing through. But I want to remind you of something incredibly important. Persistence is not about being perfect. It's about showing up day after day, even when the road ahead seems long and uncertain. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you faced something difficult, whether in work, in your personal life, or chasing a big goal, and thought to yourself, I can't do this? It's easy to get lost in that feeling, to let self-doubt take over and stop you in your tracks. But here's the truth. Every time you stumble, every time you fail or hit a roadblock, you're actually building something stronger inside yourself. And that's the power of persistence. Persistence isn't about having all the answers or avoiding mistakes. It's about being willing to keep going, even when it feels impossible. It's about accepting that setbacks are a part of the process. And instead of letting them define you, you use them to fuel your next step forward. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by being perfect. They got there because they refused to quit. They kept pushing through even when the odds seemed stacked against them. So if you're facing challenges right now, whether it's a project that's not going as planned, a personal goal that feels out of reach, or a dream that seems distant, I want you to remember this. Every small step forward counts. Even when you feel like you've stumbled or taken a few steps back, persistence is what will carry you through. It's the belief that no matter how many times you fall, you have the strength to rise again and keep going. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how you can use persistence to push through your own limits, break past your doubts, and keep moving toward your goals. So stay with me, and let's uncover how persistence can unlock the greatness within you. Let's dive deeper into why persistence is such a powerful tool in overcoming obstacles. The truth is, the journey toward success is rarely smooth. It's filled with moments of doubt, frustration, and setbacks. But these moments are exactly what shape us into stronger, more resilient people. It's tempting to look at others and think that they've had it easy, or that they've reached their goals without struggle. But the reality is, Behind every success story, there are countless small battles that were fought and won through persistence. What often holds us back is the idea that we need to have everything figured out from the start. We think we need to see the finish line before we even begin. But in reality, the path to success is rarely a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, and unexpected detours. What's important is that you keep moving forward, even when you don't have all the answers. Sometimes, just showing up every day is the biggest win. Think about a time when you faced a challenge and thought, "I can't do this, it's too hard." But then, somehow, you kept going. Maybe you didn't have all the resources or the support you wanted, but you still found a way to take that next step, no matter how small. That's persistence in action. And the more you practice it, the stronger your resilience becomes. Persistence also means embracing the discomfort that comes with pushing past your limits. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you challenge yourself. Each time you step outside of your comfort zone, you're training yourself to handle bigger challenges. The more you persist through the discomfort, the more you build confidence in your ability to handle anything that comes your way. And here's the most important part. Persistence is about progress, not perfection. You don't need to be flawless in every move you make. You just need to keep moving, keep learning, and keep evolving. Every time you pick yourself up after a setback, you're building the strength and mindset needed to achieve your goals. So if you're feeling stuck or discouraged right now, know that you're not alone. And know that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be persistent. Keep showing up. Keep making progress. And remember, every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory in itself. There was a time when I found myself in the middle of a project that seemed destined to fail. It was a big one. A project that I'd put my heart and soul into for months. At first, everything was full of promise. I had a clear vision, a plan in place, and the excitement to see it all unfold. But as the weeks went by, the obstacles started piling up one after another. At first, it was just the little things. A minor setback here, a missed deadline there. But soon, the issues grew larger. There was a technical glitch that I couldn't fix. A key team member had to pull out last minute. And then, of course, there were the endless rounds of revisions that seemed to get us nowhere. The stress was beginning to weigh on me. I was working late nights, waking up exhausted, and constantly feeling like I was drowning in problems. There came a point when I sat down and asked myself, why am I even doing this? It felt like every step forward was met with 2 steps back. I had doubts creeping in, thinking maybe I was just not cut out for this. Perhaps I wasn't meant to succeed, and this project was just another reminder of how I always seemed to fall short. I was exhausted, mentally drained, and discouraged. I actually thought about quitting. I even told a few close friends about how tempting it was to walk away, to just say, "I've had enough." But something shifted inside me. A tiny voice inside me whispered, "This is the moment. This is where the real work begins." I realized that giving up was the easy way out. I could walk away and tell myself that I tried, but I would never know what could have been if I kept going. I would never know how close I was to the breakthrough I was so desperately seeking. So, instead of quitting, I decided to commit to one thing. I would keep going step by step, day by day. It wasn't easy. In fact, it was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. Some days felt like I was pushing a boulder uphill, only to have it roll back down again. But I started breaking things down into smaller, more manageable tasks. Rather than focusing on the big picture, I focused on today. I focused on what I could do right now. If it was fixing that small bug in the system, I did that. If it was reaching out to another potential partner or getting feedback from my team, I did that too. I kept my eyes on the task at hand, not the mountain of obstacles ahead of me. Slowly, things started to shift. The technical issues started to get resolved. The feedback I received was becoming more positive, and my confidence began to rebuild. I wasn't solving everything all at once, but I was moving forward. And sometimes, that's all you need, just forward momentum. It didn't happen overnight, and there were still moments where I doubted myself, but I kept going. one step at a time. As the weeks passed, the project began to take shape. The pieces fell into place one by one. Eventually, I found myself looking at something I was proud of, something I could show to others and say, "This is the result of my persistence." The same project that had felt like a never-ending nightmare turned into one of the most fulfilling achievements of my career. In that moment, I realized that persistence isn't about avoiding setbacks or never doubting yourself. It's about what you do after the setback, after the doubt. It's about how you choose to move forward even when you don't feel like it, even when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. It's about taking it one day at a time, trusting that the effort you're putting in will eventually pay off. Looking back, I can see how everything I learned during that time shaped me in ways I never expected. The project may have been tough, but the person I became because of it, the resilience I built, the lessons I learned, was invaluable. And I know now that the greatest growth happens in the moments when you choose not to give up. It wasn't the result that mattered most, but the process of pushing through the hard times. So, if you're in the middle of a tough project or a challenge that seems insurmountable, I want you to hear this. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to doubt yourself. But I want you to remember that the only way through is through. One step, one day, one moment at a time. Keep going because you're closer than you think. Sometimes persistence isn't about making giant leaps. It's about continuing to put one foot in front of the other. And when you look back, you'll realize that all those small steps added up to something bigger than you ever imagined. I want you to take a moment and really think about your goals. The ones you've been working on, or maybe the ones you've been too afraid to even start. Now, let me tell you this. You can achieve them. You're capable. But the key to getting there isn't about doing everything at once or having everything figured out. It's about breaking it down into small, manageable steps and committing to those steps every single day. Let me start with a simple but incredibly powerful tip. Break your goals into smaller, manageable steps. When you look at your goal as a whole, it can be easy to feel overwhelmed. It can feel like there's no way you'll ever get there, that it's too big, too far, too complicated. But here's the truth. No journey, no matter how monumental, is achieved all at once. The secret is to break it down. Think about it. If you're writing a book, you don't write it all in one sitting. You write one page, one chapter at a time. If you're building a business, you don't launch it overnight. You start with one customer, one product, one connection at a time. Every step counts. Every small win matters. So focus on what you can do today, not tomorrow. Celebrate those little victories as they come, because they are the building blocks of something bigger. Create a routine to stay consistent. The greatest achievers are not the ones who have the biggest talent or the most resources. They are the ones who show up every day. Consistency is the real secret to success. So, find a time each day, even if it's just 15 minutes, to dedicate to your goal. 15 minutes may not sound like much, but when you add up 15 minutes every day, it becomes hours, days, weeks of progress. Over time, this consistency compounds. It starts small, but trust me, it grows into something much bigger than you ever imagined. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to get it right every time. Embrace failure as part of the process. I know it's not always easy. It's natural to fear failure. It feels like a setback, a sign that maybe you're not cut out for this. But here's the thing. Failure isn't something to be feared. It's something to be embraced. Every failure is a lesson, a clue pointing you toward what works and what doesn't. Every mistake, every roadblock is just one more piece of the puzzle you're putting together. Don't see failure as a defeat. See it as growth. Each time you fail, you get one step closer to your success. So don't run from failure. Run through it. Stay focused on your why. When things get tough, and they will, you need to remind yourself why you're doing this. What is your reason? Why did you start in the first place? When you're feeling discouraged, come back to that reason. Whether it's the vision of the future you want, the people you're doing this for, or the impact you hope to make, your why is what will carry you through. It's the fire that will keep you going when the road gets hard. Keep your purpose at the forefront. And when the going gets tough, it'll be the fuel that helps you push through. And listen, surround yourself with support. This is something I can't stress enough. It's hard to keep going alone. You don't have to do this on your own. There are people out there who want to see you succeed. Whether it's a friend, a mentor, or a community of like-minded people, find your support system. Talk to them when you're feeling stuck. Share your wins. Ask for advice. Positive, encouraging people can make all the difference when you're feeling low or when doubt creeps in. You don't have to carry the weight of your goals by yourself. Now, here's where you come in. I want you to understand something very important. You are capable of more than you realize. The path to success may not be easy. It may require more effort than you expected. And yes, there will be times when you want to give up. But I'm telling you right now, you have what it takes to push through. You have the strength, the determination, and the will to keep going. The only thing standing between you and your success is persistence. So, let's make this commitment today. You're going to take action. You're going to break your goals down into manageable steps. You're going to show up every day, even when it's hard, even when it doesn't feel like much. You're going to embrace failure, learn from it, and keep moving forward. You're going to remind yourself why you started and surround yourself with people who believe in you. And you're going to keep pushing, even when it feels impossible. Because success isn't reserved for the lucky few. It's for the ones who keep going, even when they don't feel like it. And that person, my friend, is you. So what's your next step? What's one small action you can take today that will bring you closer to your goal? Do it. Do it now. And know that every step you take, no matter how small, is moving you closer to the person you're meant to become. You've got this. Stay strong, stay determined, and keep pushing forward. Your success is waiting for you, just around the corner. I know exactly how it feels when you're pushing yourself beyond your limits. It's tough. The doubts start creeping in, the frustration builds up, and it can feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. Trust me, I've been there too. There were times when I thought, this is too much. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe it's time to quit. But I want you to hear this loud and clear. Those feelings are completely normal. It's part of the process. Every person who's ever achieved something significant has faced those same doubts, those same moments of questioning whether they could go on. They've all had times where they felt exhausted, defeated, and unsure if it was worth it. But here's the truth. They kept going, and that's what made all the difference. They didn't let those feelings control them. They recognized them for what they were: temporary obstacles. You see, when you feel like giving up, it's just a sign that you're on the edge of something great. It's in those moments, when everything feels impossible, that real growth happens. That's when you build strength. That's when you learn the most about yourself. And you can do this too. You are not alone in this journey. I'm right here with you, cheering you on every step of the way. Whatever challenge you're facing right now, no matter how big or small, you have the ability to push through it. The key is remembering that it's okay to feel tired. It's okay to doubt yourself sometimes. But those moments don't define you. What defines you is what you do next. I believe in you, and I know that just like anyone who's ever succeeded, you have what it takes to rise above. So don't be afraid to keep going, even when it feels hard, because with each step, you're getting closer to the person you want to become. Together, we'll get through this. Keep going. You've got this. Let's make a shift in your mindset today. Instead of seeing challenges as roadblocks or obstacles that are standing in your way, let's start viewing them as opportunities to grow stronger. It's a simple shift, but it's a powerful one. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to learn, to become more resilient, and to build your confidence. Think about it. What if every struggle you've ever faced in your life had the potential to make you better, to push you closer to your goals? What if the toughest times were exactly what you needed to develop the strength and skills that will carry you forward? This is the shift we need. Challenges are not here to defeat you. They're here to forge you into a stronger version of yourself. Now let me tell you why this is so important. The more you persist in the face of challenges, the more you build resilience. And resilience is your secret weapon. It's what keeps you going when others quit. It's what helps you bounce back from failure, and it's what allows you to turn setbacks into comebacks. Every time you face a challenge and decide to keep pushing, you become more capable of handling whatever comes next. You start to realize that no matter how tough things get, you can handle it. You have what it takes. Let's look at confidence for a moment. Confidence isn't something you're born with, and it's not something that's magically given to you. It's something you build. And you build it by showing up, by putting in the effort, by overcoming challenges. Every time you keep going when you feel like giving up, you prove to yourself that you are capable, that you are strong, that you are able to push through. The more you persist, the more your confidence grows. You see, confidence doesn't come from never facing difficulties. It comes from realizing that you can face them and that you will come out on top. The more challenges you overcome, the more you'll trust yourself, and the more you'll believe that success is within your reach. Now, I want you to think about where you are right now in your journey. What's a challenge you're facing? Maybe it's a big project at work, a personal goal you've set for yourself, or even something that's been nagging at you for a long time. Whatever it is, I want you to take a moment and see it differently. Instead of seeing it as something that could stop you, view it as something that will strengthen you. Each step forward is a chance to become more resilient. Every obstacle is an opportunity for growth. You might be feeling frustrated or discouraged, but trust me, those feelings are just temporary. If you persist, if you keep going, you will look back on this moment as the turning point. The moment when you decided that challenges were no longer roadblocks, but stepping stones to something greater. So here's the bottom line. Challenges are not your enemy. They're your training ground. The more you persist, the more you'll grow. The more you build your resilience, the more you'll develop unshakable confidence. And the more you prove to yourself that you can handle anything that comes your way, the closer you get to achieving your dreams. Shift your mindset now. Don't see challenges as barriers. See them as opportunities to become stronger, more capable, and more confident. The road might not always be smooth, but every time you persist, you're laying the foundation for success. And success will come. It's only a matter of time. Keep going. You've got everything it takes to succeed. Now that we've shifted our mindset, let's take a moment to really anchor this change. I want you to close your eyes for a moment if you can, and let's do a quick exercise together. It's going to help you internalize what we've just talked about, the power of persistence, resilience, and building your confidence. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale slowly, feeling the air fill your lungs. Hold it for just a second. And now exhale gently, letting go of any tension or doubt. Let's do that one more time. Inhale deeply, hold it, and exhale. With each breath, allow yourself to relax a little bit more and become fully present. Now I want you to visualize something. Picture yourself facing a challenge right now. Maybe it's something you're working on, a goal you've set, or an obstacle you're trying to overcome. Imagine it clearly in your mind. What does it look like? How does it make you feel? Now, I want you to see yourself taking the first step. It could be a small one. Maybe just making a phone call, sending that email, or writing down your next action. Feel that sense of accomplishment as you take that first step. Imagine yourself continuing on, step by step, moving through the challenge with determination. As you progress, picture yourself overcoming each hurdle, one at a time. Maybe you stumble, maybe you face setbacks, but you don't stop. You keep going, and with each step forward, you feel stronger. Picture the pride and sense of power that comes with every small victory. Now see yourself at the end, standing tall, having overcome the challenge. Visualize the feeling of accomplishment, the pride of having pushed through when you thought you couldn't. Hold on to that feeling of strength, confidence, and resilience. Take a deep breath in again, feeling that sense of power inside you, and exhale, releasing any remaining doubt. Know that this feeling is within you, that you have the ability to face whatever challenge comes your way. You are capable, and you are stronger than you think. Whenever you're facing a tough moment, come back to this visualization. See yourself overcoming the challenge, step by step, and feel the power and strength that comes from persistence. You've got this. Today, I want to challenge you to take just one step, no matter how small, toward your biggest goal. I know it's easy to get stuck in your head, overthinking everything. The doubts, the fear of failure, the excuses, they all come rushing in. But here's the thing. Those thoughts will always be there. The question is, will you let them hold you back? Or will you push through and take action anyway? I want you to understand that it doesn't have to be perfect. Perfection isn't the goal here. Progress is. Every step, no matter how small, is a step forward. Maybe it's writing that first sentence of a project, making that call you've been putting off, or simply planning out your next move. It could even be as simple as just getting started, putting pen to paper, or setting your intentions for the day. Taking action, no matter how imperfect, is what moves you forward. It creates momentum. When you start taking action, even just a little bit, you start building something real. And that's how big goals are achieved. Not by waiting for the perfect moment, but by showing up and doing something, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. So, I challenge you right now. Take that first step. Push past the doubts and fears that are holding you back. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to get started. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll make progress. And before you know it, those small actions will add up to something significant. You are capable. You have everything you need to start, right now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Make the moment perfect by taking that first step. You've got this, and I believe in you. Every small action counts, and it all adds up. So go ahead, take that first step today. I'd love to hear about the steps you're taking toward your goals. Whether it's a small win or a big breakthrough, your journey matters, and I'm here to cheer you on. Share your progress with me on social media, or feel free to email me your thoughts and experiences. Let's keep this conversation going. Together, we can stay motivated and support each other in pushing through challenges. Your feedback and stories are valuable, and they might just inspire someone else to take that first step too. Keep going and don't hesitate to reach out. As we wrap up today's episode, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed so far. I want to remind you that persistence is the key to breaking through your limits. It's easy to get caught up in the pressure of trying to have everything figured out or wanting immediate results. But the truth is, success is not about perfection. It's about showing up every single day, even when it feels difficult or discouraging. Every time you push yourself forward, even if it's just a small step, you're making progress. Those tiny victories matter, and they compound over time. Think about it. Every day you choose to continue, even when the road gets tough, you're building resilience. It's like building a muscle. The more you work at it, the stronger it gets. So the next time you feel overwhelmed or frustrated, remember that every small step you take is a win. Whether it's sending that email, completing that task, or just getting out of bed when you don't feel like it, those are all victories. The key is consistency. Keep showing up, keep moving forward, and you will start to see the results you're working toward. There's a powerful message I want to share with you, one that's echoed by many successful people throughout history, including Winston Churchill, who said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Think about that for a moment. Success doesn't come from never failing, but from the courage to keep going even when failure feels close. It's in those moments of doubt and struggle where true growth happens. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about pushing through it, learning from it, and then getting back up to try again. I know it's not always easy. There are days when the path ahead feels unclear, when you wonder if your effort is worth it. But here's the truth. Your perseverance, your determination to keep going, will pay off. The days that feel like you're barely making progress are the days that matter the most. Those are the moments that are laying the foundation for your future success. So, what can you take away from today's episode? Start small, stay consistent, and don't be afraid of setbacks. Embrace them as part of the journey. Each time you overcome a challenge, you get stronger. Each step forward, no matter how small, is one step closer to your goal. And if you keep at it, you'll look back one day and realize how far you've come. Persistence is the quiet strength that fuels lasting success. Remember, you are capable of so much more than you realize. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger. When the going gets tough, it's time to lean into your persistence even more. Push through the discomfort, the doubts, and the setbacks. Trust that your effort is adding up, even when it doesn't feel like it. As you go about your day, I want you to keep that mindset with you. Each small step forward is a victory. The results will come, but only if you keep going one day at a time. And as you move forward, remind yourself that failure is not fatal and success is not final. It's your courage, your ability to continue even in the face of adversity, that will define your success. So keep going, keep pushing through, and remember, I'm here cheering you on every step of the way. You've got this. Thank you so much for listening today. I'm honored to be part of your journey, and I hope you're feeling motivated to keep pushing through your limits. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and leave a review. Your support helps this podcast grow and reach more listeners like you. Until next time, stay persistent and keep pushing forward.